Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome back to Needs of Children. We are discussing about 8th Standard English Medium Social Science. In that history, chapter number 8, the Guptas and Vardhanas. Let's come to what are the very important learning points from this lesson. In this chapter, you learn the important Gupta rulers and their political achievements, their contribution to literature and science, the famous rulers, expansion and growth of Gupta Empire, the growth of Vardhanas and their contributions to literature and education. To know the extent of Gupta Empire in the map of India. So let's come to the introduction for these two concepts, the Guptas and Vardhanas. One that the Guptas. After Maurya and Kushanas, the empire of Guptas arose. In the previous class, in the previous lesson, we get the information about the Maurya and Kushanas. After these two dynasties, Gupta Empire arose. After the collapse of Maurya Empire, the northern India was ruled by Kushanas, and southern part of India, it was under the control of Shathavahanas. Both the empires ended by the middle 3rd century CE. Both the centuries, they come to an end during the middle 3rd century Common Era. Guptas were the feudatory rulers of the Kushanas. So before the arrival, they are under the control of the Kushanas. Feudatory means they are under the control of Kushanas. They were ruling in the present Uttarpradesh and established the base for a vast empire after the decline of Kushanas. After the decline of Kushanas, Guptas, they provided a wonderful administration system in the northern part of vast empire. Their rule kept North united from 335 CE to 455 CE. In this time of duration, they provided their wonderful administration system. The Gupta dynasty came into power by 275 CE. Sri Gupta is the founder of this dynasty. The founder of Guptas, Sri Gupta. They started their rule from Prayaga. Their administration system, it is started from Prayaga. Later, Guptas made Pataliputra as their capital. Pataliputra remained the capital of a vast Gupta empire. Guptas encouraged religion, art, literature and science during their period. Even the contribution of Guptas to the field of science, medical, even today we are remembered and we are make use especially the field of literature, science and medical. So such a wonderful contribution has been provided by Guptas. Let's come to so we will going to get the information about the sources of references to know more information about the Guptas. So the pillar inscription of Allahabad. The pillar inscription of Allahabad will provide the information about the Guptas. And then the pillar inscription of Mehrauli. So what you are seeing, the pillar inscription of Mehrauli. So it is the iron pillar at Mehrauli in Delhi. Near Qutub Minar is a very important. It is 23 feet and 8 inches in height and weight 6,000 kg. It is one of the finest example of the technical skill of the time of Guptas. It has not become rusty till now. That shows in those days Indians had a sound of iron technology. So that is the wonderful contribution of Gupta's pillar inscription of Mehrauli as well as the technology utilization of iron. And Vishakadatta's Mudra Rakshasa and Devi Chandragupta. So these are the contributions of the Guptas to know more information about the Guptas. Rajashekara's the poetic works, and then Kalidasa's literary works. So literary works we are going to be considered as one of the Meghaduta, Abhignana, Shakuntala, such a wonderful literary works we are going to be get the information. And then Kaumudi celebration of Vijjike, Kaumudi Mahotsava. So that is Kaumudi celebration of Vijjike. The writing of Fayan and Itsing. So these are the wonderful sources of references to know more about the Guptas. So let's come to we are going to get the more information about Guptas. The political history. Among that, Chandragupta I. The kings played a major role in making Guptas politically very strong. Among that, Chandragupta I is identified as the first historical person of Guptas. He married Liccahavi princess Kumaradevi. So you can see the place locating in map. This strengthened the status and power of Guptas. With the ascendance of Chandragupta to throne in 319 20 CE, the Gupta era started. With this, Chandragupta I started the wonderful administration system under the Gupta's dynasty. Next is Samudra Gupta, known as the Napoleon of India. After Chandragupta, we see his son Samudra Gupta. His achievements have been commemorated in the Allahabad Prashati written by Harisena. So his contributions, that is Allahabad Prashati written by Harisena, such a contribution. This is in Sanskrit language and has been inscribed on Ashoka's pillar. So what we are going to be studied in the previous lesson about the Ashoka's pillar inscription. In the same way, so Allahabad Prashati inscription, it will inspired by Ashoka's pillar and provide the information about the Samudra Gupta. Most part of India was under the rule of Guptas during the time of Samudra Gupta. His Ashwamedha Yaga brings to mind the Vedic rituals and traditions. So he has undertaken Ashwamedha Yaga so that it remembers once again the Vedic rituals and traditions. Samudra Gupta was not just a conqueror but a great poet and a lover of music too. His passion for music can be seen in the gold coins which depict him playing on the veena. So you can see the coins which were introduced by Samudra Gupta. It shows the passion towards the music, that is depict the playing on veena. It is highlights about the love towards the music. So then one more very important ruler of Guptas, name called as Chandragupta II. Chandragupta II extended the kingdom of Samudra Gupta and brought stability. He defeated the Sakas and made Western India a part of Gupta Empire. He developed relationships with many Indian royal families through marriage and became very influential. He earned the title name called as Vikramaditya. Chandragupta II, one of the very powerful ruler among the Guptas. He came after the Samudra Gupta. When he came to power, he defeated the Sakas and western part of India became the part of Gupta's empire. He developed the relationship with many Indian royal families through the marriage and became the very influential. So he earned the title name called as Vikramaditya. His reign is memorable. His administration is memorable more than encouragement given to the literature and art rather than for its battles. Because of the famous Sanskrit poet and dramatist named called as Kalidasa belongs to Chandragupta II. So that is the reason the administration system of Chandragupta Vikramaditya gets the very important, very influential. The Kalidasa's work name called as Meghaduta, Raghuvamsha, Kumarasambhava, Ritisamhara are his famous poems. Among that, Abhignana Shakuntala is one of his noteworthy dramas. That's we are going to get the information about so that is Abhignana Shakuntala. This is considered is the best drama of Kalidasa. The story of Shakuntala is in the Mahabharata. In the story, King Dushyanta, while on his hunt in the forest, happens to come to Sase Kanva's ashram. There he sees Shakuntala, falls in love with her, and both are got married in Gandhara style. All this takes place in the absence of Sase Kanva. After some time, Dushyanta leaves Shakuntala in the ashram and returns to his capital. During this period of separation, Durvasa arrives at Kanva's ashram. Seeing Shakuntala lost in the thoughts of Dushyanta and finding none to attend him is enraged. Durvasa loses his temper and curses her, saying, "Let the one in whose memory you sit forget you." When he realizes his own harshness, Durvasa suggests a way to be free from the curse. He says that an object given to her would ultimately bring back his memories for her. The object was a ring that Dushyanta has given to Shakuntala. As Durvasa had said, Dushyanta forgets Shakuntala. After a period of time, the disciple of Sase Kanva take the carrying Shakuntala to the court of Dushyanta to unite them. On the way, Shakuntala loses the ring which would have brought back recollection in Dushyanta. Thus, Dushyanta is unable to recognize her. Shakuntala leaves the palace in humiliation. After a few days, the ring is found in the stomach of a fish. And on seeing it, Dushyanta recalls everything. He is filled with remorse. Sometime later, while he is returning from a journey, he pays a visit to Maricha's ashram. There he sees a small boy playing with lion cubs, and when he inquires about his background, he comes to know that the boy is his own son Sarvadhama. In this manner, Dushyanta is united with his wife Shakuntala and son. Abhignana Shakuntala is one of the greatest dramas in the world. It has earned a great acclaim all over the world. So this is the story of Abhignana Shakuntala. So it is one of the noteworthy drama which was written by Kaviratna Kalidasa. Then one more, the work Shudrakas, Mrichakatika and Vishaka Datta's Mudra Rakshasa are the other literary works of this period. The Gupta Empire was subjected to continual attacks of the Huns and thus soon declined. So after the administration system of the Chandragupta II, it was continually attacks of Huns and soon it is declined. You can see the place location of the Hunas. The Guptas did not have fully equipped large army when compared to other dynasties. The king's vassals would fulfill the requirements during times of war. Hence, the vassals had become very powerful. So thus, the bureaucracy consisted the Kumara Amathyas. They had various positions in the administration was decentralized. The priests received many grants. They would be granted many villages in the administration system. So many temples saw development due to this. These areas not only enjoyed financial and administrative concessions but also became independent in all the matters. However, over a period of time, the inhabitants, farmers, artisans began to be controlled by the landlords. In this way, society grew more and more complex. So this is the administration concepts of the Guptas. During this period, the trade that Guptas had with the Westerners collapsed. Subsequently, their economic system suffered a lot. Their restrictions imposed on their empire obstructed their internal trade too. Trade was limited to the villages. The collapse of trade led to the decline of the city centers. So thus Pataliputra got reduced to a small village. Even this period witnessed great heights in the creation of various devotional and religious texts like the Puranas and Dharmashastras. Among that, the greatest scientists named called as Varahamihira, Bhaskara, Aryabhata, Charaka and Sushruta were the great scientists of this time. Varahamihira, Bhaskara and Aryabhata made a significant contribution to the study of astrology, astronomy and mathematics. Even Charaka wrote Charaka Samhite. Sushruta wrote Sushruta Samhite, which dealt with surgery. Some of the scientists of the Gupta period. Among that, Dhanvantari, one of the scientists. He was a famous scholar in the field of medicine. He was a specialist in Ayurveda. He is the father of Indian medicine. His chief contribution to the medical field has been Ayurvedic dictionary. Next, Charaka. He was a medical scientist. His major contribution to the field of medicine has been the Charaka Samhita. And Sushruta. He was a surgeon. He was the first Indian to explain the process of surgery. He has recorded that in those days there used to be a separate wing to treat soldiers. Like modern time surgery, Sushruta was a well-known surgeon for Easter years and contributed significantly to the field of surgery. Next, Aryabhata. He was a famous astronomer and mathematician. He is the prominent scientist who came after Varahamihira. His contribution to astronomy and mathematics has been highly significant. This is the reason that the Aryabhatta award is being presented by the Indian government to great scientists. The first Indian satellite have been named after Aryabhatta. He is believed to have invented the zero. He was the first Indian to master algebra. He reiterated the fact that solar and lunar eclipses happen not due to Rahu but due to the rotation of the earth on its own axis and revolution of the earth in its orbit around the sun. Next, Varahamihira. He was a famous astronomer. He wrote a book on astronomy named Panchasiddhantika, which is considered the Bible of astronomy. In addition to this, he wrote Bruhat Samhita, Bruhat Jataka and Laghu Jataka. He was a scholar in many fields like astronomy, astrology, geography, meteorology, etc. So these are the greatest scientists of the Gupta period and their contributions and achievements. So that's it about today's session. I hope you have understood till now what we are discussed. In case if you have any doubts related to till now what we are discussed, you can comment in the comment box. I will solve your doubts. And I will come back with the next video. Until, keep watching my channel. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you in the next session. Bye bye. Take care.